I got a lot of good information and a little time to cover it. First of all, man, I'm always honored to do these events because you guys inspire me, believe it or not. I love to see the testimonies. I love to see the rank advancements. Congratulations to platinums and golds and EVPs. It all starts with you deciding, first of all, that you want to make a change for yourself and then helping somebody else do it. So if you're not where you want to be yet, just know that all you have to do is educate more. Everyone say educate. Educate. We don't have to recruit. We don't have to beg. You don't have to persuade. You don't have to drag. Just educate. When you educate, more people will be attracted to your message. So if you're not where you want to be, it's because you're not educating enough people. Fair enough? Yeah. So just remember, don't recruit, educate. Do those Facebook Live videos. Put those posts out there. Talk to people about income shifting. Tell your testimony. If you don't have one, tell somebody else's. And I promise you, you'll be exactly where you want to be. All I did was educate more people. Does that make sense? Yes. I educated more people when I created tools to help more people find out what it is that we do. Everybody ready to roll? Yes. Is everyone ready to learn? Yes. Okay, empty your hands for me real quick. Let me make sure I always do this to make sure everyone has room. Because I go to a different training than you. I'm going to make a statement, you're going to clap once. Then each time I make a statement, you're going to add an additional clap to it. All right? To be successful first, you got to change the way you walk. Clap. You got to change the way you talk. You got to change the way you think. You got to change the way you act. That's how you change your life. Oh. Now y'all ready to roll. I tell my son, they say, Daddy, did you get an ovation? I say 5 times. Even if I bomb, they be like, hey, they clapped me 5 times. And they kept clapping. I ain't lying yet. All right, so here's what we got to do. I want to teach you guys something that I've been really implementing in my life for years, but I finally put it together in a framework because that's what I believe in teaching. I put it together in a framework so you guys can duplicate this. Now, a lot of people don't know how to be successful because they don't maximize the 2 biggest forms of equity you have. You only have 2 forms of equity. How many? 2. And that's time and money. Time and money. Now, both are valuable, but I'm going to prove to you one is way more valuable than the other. The problem is most people put emphasis on the wrong one. Now, I'm not here to knock the one that's less valuable. I'm just here to persuade you to look at the other one, which is more valuable. And I'm going to prove it to you using numbers. Here are the facts. There are only 2 types of equity, time and money. Now, when you really get this, you're going to start looking at everything you do a little bit different. And my aim is to give you a different lens. That's my job as an educator, is to give you a different lens to look through. If you get a speeding ticket and you don't pay the fine, you're going to do some work. Bottom line. Now, everybody around you understands this. The cops understand it. The government understands it. Mess around and not pay that fine if you want to. They either want your time or your what? Or your money. If you got a whole bunch of money, and these guys often do crimes, but because they got a lot of money, they don't do no what? Time. So it's only a couple of ways to pay things back. You can give some time or you can give some money. Now, here's what I figured out. If you have a whole bunch of money, you usually don't have a whole bunch of time. If you got a whole bunch of free time, you usually don't have a whole bunch of money. But you can't be broke and busy. I learned this a long time ago. If the one thing I have is time, because I already surmised I didn't have any money. So if the one thing I didn't have was money, that means I better have a bunch of what? Time. But I was broke and busy. Now, if you're neglecting the one thing that you do have, you're on a serious road of financial destruction. I'm just being honest with you. So I was broke, but I had all the time in the world to learn. And finally, it started changing for me. So here's what ended up happening to me in retrospect. People say, Brian, you know a lot about a lot of things. You know how to market. You know martial arts. You know financial education. You know personal growth. You know network marketing. You know what happened in retrospect? I got my time back so early and made a lot of money. Then I took some money and made a lot of time. So now it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. Because I made a little money early, I got an early understanding of specialized knowledge. And that beats general education. So because I had a lot of specialized knowledge, it made me a whole lot of what? Money. And then with residual income and money, I was able to redistribute and allocate my what? Time. So now I got all the time in the world to make some money. And then when I make some more money, I go shift my time. So what you got to do is create this not vicious, but this euphoric cycle of both. So I'm going to show you now how you can start looking at those two things different. Y'all ready?
Ready.
Yes. Everybody clap once. All right. What if everybody walked around and this was an hourglass? We're going to use this little remote control as an hourglass. Now, this is not too far from the truth. If you walked around and you flipped it upside down, like sand through an hourglass. These are the what? Well, y'all should know nothing about it. Y'all watch too much TV. Watch too much doggone stories. Okay. Now you flip this over, and that sand is starting to sift down. Now, if that was your life, and when the last grain of sand was officially over, and if that's how it actually went, you wouldn't waste no time, would you? If all of us walked around and had one of these on our chest, you'd be looking at people like, ooh. Hurry up and do what you're trying to do. You can see how much is at the top and how much is what? At the bottom. You know what's funny? That's not too far from the truth. That's how it is. We all got an hourglass. And we don't want to face it, but at some point, that last grain of sand, it's just the way it is. You're going to transition to another round, right? So what you got to do now is start acting like you walking around and you don't have so much time to get things done. Y'all got to get busy living. Write that down. I got to get busy living. Now, in order to get busy living, you got to get your time back. And in capitalism, which is what America masters, then you got to get your time back and get your time back and make you some what? Some money. Then take that money and buy you some what? Some time. So we got this hourglass that's on our chest, and it is, in fact, sifting. You got to decide right now how you're going to maximize the sand that goes through your hourglass, because that's not far from the truth. So here's what I've learned. I've learned how to squeeze extra hours out of my day. People say, Brian, we all got 24 hours. Yep, we got 24 hours, but I bet I can show you how to squeeze some extra hours out of it. Just like you shift your money, you got to shift your what? Time. See, we all talk about eliminating taxes. Minimizing taxes, eliminating debt, lower expenses. That concept is commonly known as creating positive cash flow, which ultimately will shift your what? Income. But none of us ever talk about shifting your time. Here's what I surmise. If there are 24 hours in a day, productive and non-productive people have the same 24 what? Hours. Wealthy people and broke people have the same what? 24 hours. Well, you sleep, let's say you sleep 6. You got 18 left. Let's say you work 10. People say, I work 8. No, you work 10. Because you got to get up and get prepped. You got to decompress when you get home. But you don't get paid for that. So the time it takes to get to work, the time it takes to prepare for work, you only get paid technically when you, quote unquote, clock in. Okay. Then the time it takes you to decompress from work and the time it takes you to get mentally back home. So I'm going to say you work 10 hours. You got 8 hours left. So let's give 4 to family and recreation. Basketball practice, gym, homework, kids, whatever. You really only got 4 hours left in the day for your goals and dreams. Wow. That's it. Wow. And we just surmised that this bad boy is sifting. Am I right? So by the time we sleep 6, work 10, family and recreation get 8, you got 4. You got 4 left for who? Yeah. For you. So out of 20 hours, you got 4 left. So we got to figure out what we need to do in those 4. Now this is important. Your work ethic is what you do in your spare time. So if we got 4 hours left, we better get to what? Work. See, it's what you do with the 4. You got to take the 4 and shift it. It eventually becomes 8. Shift it. It eventually becomes 12. Now 12 hours are dedicated to work and sleep, and 12 hours are dedicated to you and family. You got to shift it, but it starts with the 4. Let me prove it to you. If you got 4 hours of spare time, here's what I would recommend just as an early framework. I'm not telling you what to do. Just giving you something to think about. Spend 1 hour a day on personal growth. 1 hour. Because it's that hour that's going to help you become the person you need to become to get the rest of your life back. Spend 1 hour a day building your business. Now, personal growth can be anything. Personal growth can be turning your car into, what I call drive time university. Pop in an MP3, pop in Bluetooth, pop in a CD, pop in something that's working on you. Because you got to collapse time. So on your way to work, that extra hour that you have building someone else's dream, you need to build yours at the same what? Time. Now that 10 hours technically is 9 because you use 1 hour for who? Yeah. See? So we're shifting it. 1 hour to build your business. I'm talking about a consistent hour. From this time to this time, I'm making calls. From this time to this time, I'm meeting with a few people. From this time to this time, I'm training my new reps. I'm doing a new team orientation. I'm doing drill for skill. I got my Zoom account. I'm doing something for my business for an hour uninterrupted. Make sense? Yes. 1 hour of social media and entertainment. See, here's what you guys miss. There's nothing wrong with social media. There's something wrong with social media when it becomes addictive. And I'm telling you, there are actual psychologists that Google and Facebook and these guys hire to get you to get more addicted to your phone. That's why the scroll was invented. Because your mind doesn't like incompletion. And as long as it keeps going, you'll keep going. There's some of y'all, you got to be interrupted to stop looking. You on social media till your phone ring. You got to scroll and scroll and scroll and scroll and scroll. They even have it now, if you notice on Facebook, where they hold the hearts and then you go to a certain status and they burst at the same time. You know what I'm talking about, right? That creates, believe it or not, that creates euphoria to a lot of people. They see a lot of hearts at the same time and they go, man, a lot of people like that. And you like the feeling that you're being loved. So now they go back, whether it's real or fake. They go back and they now hold the hearts at a certain time and they create the algorithms necessary to know when to make you feel good. So Brian's up late. His algorithm says we should release the hearts at 2 o'clock. Boom, and I get 15 hearts. I think everybody just, silliest thing I've ever seen. Works on everybody all the time. So people, nothing wrong with social media, especially if you have a business. See, I put an hour in there for social media. People say that's a waste of time. Well, it depends on what you're doing. Right. If you're building a following, building inspiration, doing some training, creating engagement, sending people to your capture page, or if you're on social media prospecting, it's not a waste of time. Just do it in 15-minute increments. 4 15-minute increments of social media won't kill you. I post in the morning, I post in the afternoon, I post in the evening, and I post for the hustlers late at night. 4 times a day, 15 minutes won't kill you. That's my hour of social media, I'm done. Make sense? Or when everybody's asleep, it's time for me to pop in a documentary or watch a TV show. See, there's nothing wrong with TV. There's something wrong with television. You see the difference? I got some of my greatest inspiration from documentaries. I got some keynotes that are to die for that made me thousands of dollars because I saw a documentary and got inspired. Like 30 for 30, I don't care what you say. You're not going to get me to start watching 30 for 30. That's just my favorite documentaries, ESPN and sports, and how they tie sports to life and all kinds of things. You can't tell me that this coach that's dying of cancer that inspired all these children to go on and be great, and they all didn't give up because of him. You can't tell me that's television. Television is knowing every housewife episode. And they're not even housewives. Amen. Let me tell you something. I know 4 reality stars. 4, personally, in my phone. 4. 3 of them I went to school with. 1 of them I was in network marketing with. I know 4 personal reality stars in my phone I can call right now. That's not their life at all. At all. All that's production and get you to watch it. Now I'm like, no, why you doing that? You know you ain't like that. If they said the producer, they're going to kick me off the show if I... You see what I'm saying? It's all lies. So when you understand that, you would turn off the television and turn on something constructive. Nothing wrong with television 15, 20 minutes a day to get you if you're looking for education. Does that make sense? Yes. All right? 1 hour to double up on something. In other words, if you need to double up on one of the other 3, then take that hour to do it. But you only have how many? You got 4 hours. We gave you sleep, we gave you work, we gave you family. Don't we say, when it comes to money, pay who first? Yes. Time and money are both equity. Why don't you get yourself some time first, too? You give everybody else your time. So let's break it down. Let's look at this. Let's reverse engineer it. Your work ethic is what you do in your spare time. Let's take the 4 hours and multiply it by 7 days a week, not 5. You can't bring a W-2 mentality to a 1099. You got to work your weekends. People say, Brian, I noticed you multiply that by 7. Yeah, you only have 4 as it is. You trying to cut that? I thought Saturday and Sunday. No, that ain't what that is. Glad you don't get paid for thinking. 7 hours. You got to use these all 7 days. That's 28 productive what? Hours. Multiply that by 4 weeks. That's 112 productive hours per month. Times 12 months. That's 1,344 productive hours a year if you maximize the 4 hours you have left. Am I right? Right. Take a picture now. 4 hours a day, 28 a week, 112 a month, 133 a year. Now let's reverse engineer it. Numbers don't what? Wow. Let's reverse engineer it. 1344 divided by 24 hours a day is 2 extra months a year. That's what you look. Excuse my English. That's what you squoze. You squoze 2 extra what? Months. Now you can't change the calendar, but you can add, some fake months after December or whatever, but you can change what you do within the 12. Am I right? Yeah. So 13 hours of productive, 13 productive hours a year divided by 24, 56 extra days, 8 extra weeks, and 2 extra months because you had a productive 4 day. Some people say, Brian, I don't have enough time. You got the same time what other people have. It's what you're doing with your spare time that determines the difference. Look, I gave you an extra hour for recreation. Am I right? I gave you an extra hour to double up on any one of your choices. You can do 2 hours a day for your business. You can do 2 hours a day on social media. You can do 2 hours a day on your workout. I gave you an extra one to double up. 2 hours a day on personal growth. It's already allocated in. We're not saying work like a Hebrew slave. We're saying the time that you do have, you got to stop wasting. Amen. This bad boy is sifting. Now, what happens is once you get time as an issue, money as an issue out the way, because you've been productive, you're growing, and you got your business, you got all the free time in the world. Here's how it works. Monitor your daily depleters. All right. Here's what you have to do. You got to monitor your daily depleters. One depleter that a lot of people don't know about these days is called absorption. Absorption. Brian, what's absorption? Absorption is the information age's way of keeping you studying all the time. Brian, I'm taking this course. Brian, I signed up for that. Brian, I'm in this. I'm in that. I'm like, look, there's nothing wrong with education. But you got to stop thinking that every single thing you see out there, you got to study all the time. You got to become what's called a tactician. What you study, do. What you study, implement. What you study, take action. I know a lot of people, all they do, though, is the studying. Right. Come on now. You can cut them out right now. I promise you. And everything I own, I have a whiteboard. And I have several courses I'm taking right now. Ty Lopez, online marketer, social media. Brenda Bashar, speaking. Cryptocurrency, learning. Jim Rohn was a permanent fixture in my house. Permanent. He changed my whole life. Jim Rohn came out with a new course. He's been deceased 10 years. Whatever he got, I get. Check. All these online courses. And then I make my son listen to them too. So I'm learning. But the difference is each one get 15 minutes. I'm not just on there taking the Jim Rohn. I can't get it all today anyway. But by the end of the week, I've gotten 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours of each one. 15 minutes per day, because I gave myself an hour for personal what? That's it. Then I'm done. Some of y'all sat there and binge. You've been on the computer all day. Absorption will keep you broke. Yeah. Just absorbing. But you feel productive. Well, at least I learned something. Yeah, but you ain't done nothing. The smartest thing I know, though. Absorption is a depleter. You got to watch that because this is the information age. So you got a lot of information at your fingertips, but But just like everything, you have to allocate it. I give all my online courses 15 minutes a day. Simple. 2, the television. We talked about it. The housewives, not even housewives. You looking at Dancing with the Stars. Don't nobody want to see Lawrence Taylor in no tights. I'm like, what are you doing, Lawrence? That ain't Stars no more. That's one of the most popular shows on TV, Dancing with the Stars. Why do I want to see football players in tights with horrible footwork? It's a television. It's different things that keep you. You're using your 4 hours watching somebody else make money. Okay? So we talked about that. Social media, we talked about it. Avoid the addiction to scrolls, hearts, comments, shares, likes, and virality. Occasionally unplug. Every now and then, just unplug.